Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm checking my volumes. Even though my friend Nick Burafeto does not like it when I check volumes, but I am checking the volumes because I forgot. Now in the Patreon today, you might find this one very interesting. I would call it, well, the elite secret plan, the way the elites guide you to where they want you to go. I think in crypto, we've seen this in real time, and I'm going to lay it out for you and show you what I think has gone on and continues to go on. And I think it's all for a purpose. You can go to daixrp.com to join through the Patreon, or you can click the join button right below any of my YouTube videos if you'd rather join through YouTube. This stuff gets creepier by the day. I saw this one. This is an older tweet, but I saw it popped up in my feed somehow. This is the blockchain bandit. He stole $172 million by guessing 10,000 private keys. Now he's back. Here's how he did it and how to protect yourself. And man, I just got tired of all the private key stuff and all that. And I know that a lot of older people and people that are just getting to this space, it's just not something they're ever going to be comfortable with. If you are comfortable with it, that's fine. Either way, you can open a Caleb and Brown account, which is my new affiliate partner. You can go to XRPwealth589.com. If you'd like to have institutional grade custody like the big boys do, then you can get it there. If you'd prefer to keep it on your hard wallet, that's fine too. You can open an account at Caleb and Brown just to be able to access the global OTC liquidity that they have. So go to XRPwealth589.com if you want. It'll forward you right to my page here, and you can click the sign up today button. The market's kind of boring right now, so we're moving on. Donald Trump was on CNBC this morning talking crypto.
The reason we got into crypto, and we're all in on crypto, and we're doing American Bitcoin, and we have World Liberty Finance and USD1, was because there was a time, and probably I'd been on this show, where I could call any single banker in New York City. They'd pick up the phone. I'd be able to get a loan for whatever real estate project I was doing across the street. Then we got into politics, and all of a sudden, they wouldn't take your call. You couldn't get financing. We were debanked. And what I realized, and my brother realized, because we were the recipients of every subpoena imaginable, was that, you know what, we were actually just the top of this sort of pyramid scheme that we didn't realize we were a part of, that the financial system was totally undemocratized because we had a certain balance sheet and whatever, we could kind of do whatever we wanted. The regular guy was messed up. Now we were all of a sudden in the shoes of the regular guy that wouldn't be able to take advantage of the markets. And we said, what's the solution for that? The answer is crypto. These decentralized platforms where you're not beholden to this, where you create efficiencies. As a guy that did real estate, why am I paying points in and out for title insurance that could be done on the blockchain? So we got into crypto, not because it was like, hey, this is the next cool thing. We got into it out of necessity. We got into it because we understood just how quickly we could be turned off, even as an incredible developer from New York City. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that we didn't change the skyline of New York City, but that disappeared in an instant. I mean, we're getting sued by New York State AG, $500 million fees for paying back loans on time with interest. These aren't, fair markets. There's nothing egalitarian about any of that. So we actually, as innovators, as people who understand these things, we went all in on a concept that makes total sense because we'd actually been the recipient of how quickly that can be shut off. And so it actually makes total sense. The Trump organization isn't doing anything with foreign countries. The first time around in the administration, we actually stopped doing all foreign deals. And unlike the Bidens, we were actually doing international business before we got into politics. But let me finish. We stopped doing those things, and the market still said, oh, they're profiteering off of this, they're doing that. We got zero credit. We shut down hundreds of millions of dollars of business to voluntarily just say, just in case. So now what we're going to do, we're going to play by all of the rules. We're going to do what we're allowed to do. But we got zero credit for going so far above and beyond because, that's the nature of this beast, right? It's a market cycle. I get it. It's click worthy. It's nonsense.
So let me ask you a question.
He's right. Okay, look at this. This is Lark Davis, who is a Bitcoin guy. June, July, August.
Fascinating behavior, actually. Ryan Dietrich here with this one. Post-election year playing out like they normally do. If this continues, be open to a surprise summer rally. Imagine how mad it'll make everyone. Fascinating behavior, actually. Think about that. Every election year, basically, has a summer rally. June, July, August. August peaks, actually, fascinatingly enough, in an election year.
Uh-oh. And here we sit in June. Dark Defender yesterday, XRP hit 222. Isn't it precise? Getting ready. Ripple is talking about the RLUSD, is now recognized token in the DFSA, enterprise grade, compliant, built for real utility. Then here's Reese Merrick on that.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Entrepreneur TV Middle East. We're here day 2 at FinTech, and with me is Reese. He is the managing director at Ripple. Thank you so much for coming once again. Lovely seeing you.
Great to be here.
How's everything at Ripple?
Awesome. Yeah, great things happening. So we recently announced that we just had and received our DFSA license. So we're a fully licensed payment service provider for cross-border payments here in the region. And we're the first blockchain-enabled payment provider, which is huge.
Amazing. How do you build that trust in such a decentralized area such as blockchain?
Look, I think Ripple have been in the market for a long time now. We're often viewed as the adult in the room as it comes to blockchain and crypto. And I think it's early engagement with regulators. I think the UAE is phenomenal because they open the doors to be able to provide an overview of what you're looking to do, how you're looking to do it. Mm-hmm. They want to learn, and they want to actually put a framework in place which allows businesses like Ripple to come here and build.
Right. Is there any sort of fintech trend that you love and that you hate?
Ooh.
One that you would completely want to remove, and one that you would want to advance even further?
Look, I think I'll talk about what I love. I love the fact that there's certain regions and geographies where they are embracing it and enabling it. I think UAE is kind of one of those areas. I think that payments is the killer use case as I see for fintech, and I think that we're going to see some huge growth there.
Great. What sort of future plans can we see for Ripple coming on the horizon?
Continuation of what we're doing. We've grown 50% over the last couple of years here in Dubai. We've just got our license, which enables us to serve FIs, large payment service providers in the region for cross-border payments. And I think we'll see a continuation of stable coins and custody. So lots going on.
Great stuff, Reese. Thank you so much for...
Okay. Then remember when Bitstamp, who is now owned by Robinhood, this was the news from yesterday, a year ago they said XRP going to make history next year, and now Robinhood has acquired them. Dun, dun, dun. XRP has asymmetric upside here, a lot of flows not priced in. And then Bitcoin Desk is bullish on XRP right now. Look at this. XRP's ballooning open interest reflects a surge in speculative activity and hints a potential price breakout in the near term, market watchers say. Then they had this one. On-chain activity, XRP ledger looks to have slowed. Well, I mean, all activity has slowed. We've had a pullback recently, but the outlook remains positive with strategic partnerships expected to boost institutional adoption. Dom from EZA, this is another one of his XRP Las Vegas tweets. Here's some of the stories that he had. I wanted you to see this. A son funded his dad's retirement with his XRP profits after his dad's retirement fund got wiped out by medical bills. 17-year-old developer wants to launch his own stablecoin. Registered investment advisor working to bring $1 trillion plus commodities market onto the XRP ledger. Dad who paid his daughter's nursing school using his XRP gains. I've got a friend, by the way, who had bought XRP a while back when he heard me talking about it. And now his daughter has a shot at going to Duke, and he's hoping for the price to spike in the next, hopefully this year, so that he can help pay for her Duke education. A registered investment advisor working to bring did that one. Cybersecurity professional stuck in a career rut who learned about the XRPL and EZA and now wants to become a full-time blockchain developer. Several parents buying crypto for the kids so they can get a head start in life. Gotta love it. And then Text XRP. These are the guys that won the XRP Shark Tank pitch competition. They're ready and refreshed, back to work to improve TextRP. I like that. Now, let me look at my time here. Okay, I think we can show at least part of this. The interesting Crypto Insight UK points this out. Anthony Pompliano is not a dummy. This guy, remember, he's the same guy that back in 2017 said, if you think Bitcoin's going to go on a tear, wait till you see XRP, okay? And then all of a sudden, for the next 5 years, he pretended like he just couldn't get his mind around XRP. And it's important to note, he is ex-military intelligence.
Saw Robinhood recently come out and said,
and you can't tokenize anything on Bitcoin.
That they're trying to get some tokenization stuff done. We've seen Superstate actually partner with a public company to do that. What is your take on this? And is it just a foregone conclusion?
Tokenization is a foregone conclusion. And I remember the first time I saw a presentation on this. I don't know if you've ever had Sandy Call on your show. I think she's at Franklin Templeton right now. She was at Citi at the time, and I attended an event. And I would say this is when I first started to get interested in the blockchain rather than Bitcoin. So this is between 18 and 20, and I went to an event, and she took through her vision of tokenization. So I'm going to say this was 2019. And it was pretty compelling about giving access to investments to all individuals and being able to, from a seller's perspective, being able to sell your house and not have to wait for one buyer because you have a very expensive house and you want to sell it, but actually having people go, you know what, I want to diversify my real estate investments. I'd love to have a little piece of Bergen County, New Jersey, which is one of the places that just said that they're going to start going to tokenization on deeds, which again has implications from a cost perspective for the governments of having all these things on the blockchain. But then from a seller, it's the ability of increasing demand dramatically because you may not be able to find enough sellers for this stuff. I think this is very important now with what we're seeing with the private equity world. They want to sell some stuff. Okay, well, selling blocks of stuff limits how many buyers there can be. And if everyone knows you're a seller and behind it there's a lot of sellers, you want to get as much demand as you can. And as retail has proven in the stock market, and this is one of the important things that we've talked about, but I don't think enough people realize the world's changing and retail has a lot more power than people realize. They're investing a lot. They're driving markets on the short-term basis much more so. And they don't have the emotional connections to the fiat system, the historical baggage, I think, that comes along with recessions, and this is going to end badly. And more importantly, it's a phrase that Michael Saylor said that changed my life in terms of thinking about it. It's this thing of, if you're wealthy, you don't need Bitcoin. And if you're not wealthy, you're looking for something to change your life and to be in. And that's why he got involved in it for his business. It's a powerful story. And so I think tokenization, again, fits Donald Trump, what he's trying to do in the country to spread the ability for people below a certain income to be able to invest in the same way that institutions do and the wealthy do. So I view tokenization as another decentralization factor that's very important to the overall distribution of securities in this country.
Okay. Now, I got a question for you. Do you ever just sit and ask yourself, I mean, you've got, we all know that technologically Bitcoin's not even close to many of these things. XRP, Solana, even Ethereum, Cardano, all these things. You can't even tokenize things on Bitcoin. The only thing you can do is convince people to buy it. That's it. Okay? Have you ever wondered why all you ever see, if you look at your feed, even me in the XRP community, if you see a CNBC interview, if you see a CoinDesk interview, it's always teeing up Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin do you know? What's your, if it's Tom Lee on CNBC, what's your Bitcoin price per day? Have you ever wondered why is it always that? Because there are many people out there who don't just own Bitcoin, they're bullish about other things, but why is that 85 to 95% of the crypto media and the mainstream media? It's because it's a freaking op. How many times have you seen Tim Draper say something similar to this?
You've predicted that Bitcoin will be worth $250,000 by the end of 2025. It got me thinking, how much Bitcoin do you now own? Because we know that you bought 30,000 Bitcoin seized from the Silk Road in 2014 Forbes says your net worth is 2.9 billion. I don't know.
Well, remember, he bought it from the Silk Road, which means that the government allowed him to buy it. Okay.
I'm sure you've spent some of that Bitcoin on investments. I mean, 30,000 Bitcoin is worth about 3 billion today. Are you okay with clarifying or disclosing how much Bitcoin you own? And is Forbes right about your?
I just keep buying more.
Now, I will preface this with saying I think Tim Draper is one of the good guys. He's one of the, as far as Bitcoin Max, he's one of the good guys. He doesn't go around bashing other projects. He just likes talking about he's bullish on Bitcoin. But you could say, oh, well, he's just talking his book. Well, the problem with that is that he has other books that he could be promoting too, but he doesn't. He has one book specifically. I have been watching him for years. I've seen thousands, maybe hundreds of videos of him giving his Bitcoin price prediction and talking Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. To my knowledge, I'm the only person that has ever asked him in an interview about owning, whether he owns XRP.
Currency, yes. I'm an owner of Ripple, or XRP. I'm an owner of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Tezos. I'm an owner of the Aragon. I'm a believer. I think this is, it's happening, it's coming. It's so important for the world, and I want the world to know it, and I want other people in the world to get on board.
And then if you go down here, this is the standard that I've gotten for years. Who's paying you, DAI, really? And I laid it out right here, and this is the truth. That's original, never been asked that before. Ripple has never and would never pay me anything. All I get is pleasantries from any of them. And I totally understand why. This channel was born because I believed then, as I believe now, XRP will change the entire financial system. And when we go into the group here, I'm going to tell you what I think is really going on with this PSYOP. Some refer to it as an elite secret plan. I'm also going to tell you exactly how Brad Garlinghouse does interact with me when I see him. And I'll tell you the behind the scenes of it, even from XRP Las Vegas. And I understand exactly what the methodology is. I get it. But I'll tell you in the group exactly about that. So if you want to join the group, go to daixrp.com to join through the Patreon. If you want to join, if you'd rather join through YouTube, click the join button below any of these videos. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.